Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is Massive Brad and welcome back to my FIFA 20 Liverpool career mode. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for love and support on the channel. And as always, guys, at the start of today's episode, we're quickly going to look at the games that lie ahead. Up first, we have the Liverpool derby. Liverpool versus Everton, and it's happening at Anfield. We then face off against the Hammers West Ham away from home, also in the Premier League. And then the final game in today's episode is against Brendan Rodgers and his team, Leicester City, also away from home in the Premier League. Now, at the end of the last episode, we talked about playing the Everton game, simulating the West Ham game, and playing the Leicester City game. That still stands. I feel that the Everton game, the Liverpool derby, we certainly have to be playing that, so we're going to play it. Then I was between West Ham and Leicester. Who do I think's the more difficult team? Who do I think the better team is? And that is Leicester City. Sorry to any West Ham fans out there, but I think Leicester City are the much more difficult team. So that's why we're going to simulate the game against West Ham and then play the game against Leicester. So we're playing the more difficult games in today's episode and keeping our fingers crossed that the easier game that we simulate, we can hopefully pick up the 3 points. Now, at the start of today's episode, guys, we're quickly going to look over the comments from the previous episode. We're also going to touch up on the previous episode because, first of all, it lacked energy. There was just no hype around it. I edited the video and just sat there and thought I look miserable. I don't know if that's because we lost to Bournemouth, we lost to Napoli, we drew to Watford. I have no idea why the episode just fell flat. It felt like here's the bar where we normally are and we were down here. Well, today's episode is going to be up here. We're going to go higher than the bar. We're going to raise the bar. We're going to make it a fun and energetic and a passionate episode. Hopefully, by doing that, we do get some wins. But the first comment coming in from Kai Barnett is, Brad, where do you think you're placed in the league? And I'm wondering what you're aiming for in terms of silverware. Well, great question, Kai. I obviously replied to this in the comment section, guys, but I always tend to address the comments in the next episode if there's some comments that I think need to be addressed. This was a great comment, so that's, of course, why we're going over it. Where would I like to place in the league? Well, realistically, it's our first season at Liverpool. As a manager, I'd love to say we're going to finish top. We do currently sit top, 1 point ahead of Chelsea with a game in hand. So we beat Everton and we move back up to 4 points clear of second position, Frank Lampard's Chelsea. But we've got to be realistic here, and especially because the patch has just come out in the last episode, which we'll touch on in just a moment. I'm going to say a top 4 spot, a Champions League spot, would be fine for me. In terms of silverware, I really want to win the Champions League because we did so in real life. And then we have the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup left. If we win either one of them, I'll be very happy. If we can get to the finals in both of them, I'll be very happy. The reason I say that is because with the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, we play A very rotated team, B, a load of players that don't necessarily get into the starting 11, like James Milner, like Lovren, like Hoover at right back, or Nathaniel Klein. Players that don't play week in and week out, that don't gel well together. We basically throw a team out there and they just have to get used to playing with each other, which makes it very difficult. And C, we play a load of youngsters that aren't high rated, that don't have the experience. So if we were to win one of those two competitions, I'd be very happy. If we can at least get to the final of both of them, then I'll be absolutely over the moon. But again, we're playing youngsters, we're playing players that don't play week in and week out, that sometimes may lack the fitness. It's very difficult. But yeah, in terms of silverware, winning either the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup will be spot on. Winning the Champions League because we've done it in real life. Top 4 in the Premier League. Then I would say that we've had a very successful first season at Liverpool. In the second season, if we don't win the Premier League, of course, we'll be aiming to win the Premier League and not so much on the Champions League. But then again, it's season 2. I'm Massive Brad. I may well just try and win everything we possibly can. And with me saying that, we're trying to win everything this season, but I wouldn't play the youngsters in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. I'd be putting out a much stronger lineup, hoping to win that piece of silverware. But great question, Kai. Keep them coming. JSHD says, it's my birthday. Now, this will be going up after his birthday. But, Jack, happy birthday. Hope you had a great day. Let me know what you got for your birthday. Thomas Gibbons says, keep up the good work, up the Reds. I will do so, Thomas. Don't worry, these episodes are going nowhere. I'm loving the Liverpool career mode right now. I'm loving FIFA 20, apart from the patch, which we'll touch on in just a moment's time. And then finally, a comment from Aman, which opens us up nicely for the patch, which is the big teams will be dropping a lot less points now, Brad. And this is where it comes on to the last episode, guys. When I edited it, I felt like it was very flat. I felt maybe it's because we lost to Bournemouth, then we lost to Napoli, and then we drew to Watford, I do believe. Was it Watford we drew to in the last game of the last episode? Watford was a 1-1. So in those 3 games, a loss, and a draw. Maybe that's the reason that we fell flat. Maybe that's the reason I didn't see very energetic. But one thing I will tell you guys is at the start of the last episode, we talked about the changes that are coming to FIFA. There was over 70 bullet points of changes and things that were being amended. One of them being that teams in the Premier League, or at least teams in the top 5 leagues, so you've got the Italian league, the Spanish, the German, the English, and the French, you're going to find now that they tend to not drop as many points. And I've seen some screenshots, which is ridiculous. It was, I think, from the Spanish league, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid all got over 100 points. I think Barcelona and Real Madrid lost no games. I think they drew with each other. They lost no games. And Atletico Madrid lost like 1. They've gone the other way now. It was too unrealistic. Here's realistic. And now it's gone too far back the other way because teams are going to struggle to get over 100 points in real life. So the fact that 3 teams in one league managed to do it is a little bit crazy. But regardless, you've got to look at the situation of the last episode we played for the first time with the new patch. We struggled. It was difficult. We're going to have to learn. We're going to have to adapt. And we're certainly going to have to get better. But this is like with every new FIFA that comes out. Or if you guys get a new game or you do a new activity or you're learning to ride a bike at the start, it seems like you're a million miles away. But after a couple of days, couple of weeks of practice, you start picking it up, you start to understand, you start to learn, you adapt, and then you start getting exactly what you want out of it. And that is hopefully what we're going to do in today's episode. Now, we do have a notification from the chief executive saying risk of losing 2 players. We do have a press conference and the media are gathering for us. We are going to attend it because, of course, it's the Liverpool derby and we certainly want to see what questions are going to be asked. But up first, we have a risk of losing 2 players. Those 2 players are Nathaniel Klein and Adam Lallana, with only 6 months remaining on their contract. We also have a little bit of bad news, guys. What I tend to do is when we have a player that's coming in fact, I'll show you that first, guys. Let's do the bad news and then we'll do the good news. So what I was saying is when we have players that are coming in, so for example, David Neres, he's coming in the next transfer window, which of course is in January. I tend to just keep an eye on how the player's doing and just check that whether they're scoring, whether they're getting assists. Unfortunately, when I come to search for Neres, which I'll show you guys now, we do have a little bit of bad news. Now, bearing in mind, guys, right, I think we're just into the month of November. As we click David Neres, there's your bad news. He's got an anterior cruciate. I'm not even sure. It's his ACL anyway. He's going to be fit in 3 months' time. He's also joining Liverpool when the transfer window opens. 3 months, which means when he comes to Liverpool, let me just go and check on the date. When he comes to Liverpool, he's not going to be fit. We are into December. He's still got 3 months out. He's not going to be fit till February or March at the earliest, which is okay because then it fits in nicely with my plan of what I'm potentially going to do in January, and that is bringing some of our current players that are out on loan back to Liverpool. I'm also hoping in today's episode that Fabinho will be back. He was due around Christmas, around the 26th or 27th of December. Hopefully we'll get an email today that Fabinho is back in training and can get back into the team. We can then move Henderson back into the central midfield position. But what I was doing is we're looking at Nathaniel Klein and Adam Lallana. So if we go over to financial, go to the end and sort the contract. We have 7 months left with Lallana, 7 months left with Nathaniel Klein. Lallana currently on 80k, Nathaniel Klein on 70. We are going to sit down and negotiate a contract. You've recently negotiated a contract with this player. What do you mean? I mean, that makes no sense whatsoever. I've just been told to do a contract for Lallana and Nathaniel Klein. What if we delegate? We've recently renewed. I don't understand. There's only 7 months left. Unless we have to wait for it to come into the 6 months. Maybe we'll look at doing that a little bit later on. I mean, within 6 months or less, that's when we can negotiate. So we might be able to do it in today's episode if they drop into the 6 months. But currently, they're at 7 months. But that's not a problem. As long as the board or the executive keeps reminding us, we'll certainly remember to offer them both new contracts. But let's go ahead and attend this press conference, see what the media have to ask. It's a big game, Liverpool versus Everton. It's the big Liverpool derby. Hopefully, we'll get the win. Here we are.
Okay, welcome everyone. We'll be starting with questions now.
Your recent form suggests you're on track to win the Premier League title. Do you have enough depth in the squad? I mean, it's too early to be asking that, that's for sure. I hope the whole squad can help us. It's our responsibility to try. Our momentum isn't dropping. Yeah, it's the whole squad. We have got an amazing group of players. I fully agree. The opponents you face today are very hungry for results. Considering their league position, is your team as hungry as they are? Are you interviewing the Liverpool manager or the Everton manager? Because we're in a much better position. That's not even a question. The lads are good. The lads want it. Yeah, the lads want it. Especially the Liverpool players know that Liverpool versus Everton is a big derby in the city of Liverpool. So both teams and fans want this. How have you prepared for the next match against your rival Everton? It's like any other match. Performance must be better. We are ready. Yeah, we're just ready. I'd say it's a little bit different compared to some of the games when we play some of the top 6 teams. You know, we're always going to try and play players, even if they're not fully fit.
Okay, guys, thanks so much
Look
for
in
today.
front of my,
See you next time.
look in front of me. It says there, Brad. We had a situation where it glitched and it was showing manager. I don't know if you guys remember early on. It was showing manager. It wasn't showing my name. It is now showing my name. But up next, we have Everton in the Premier League. We're at Anfield. I'm excited for it. The team, unfortunately, isn't as fully fit as I would like to be putting out against Everton. You can see the likes of Mane, Bobby, Salah, the Ox, Henderson, Van Dijk, Robertson, Trent, and even Alisson are not fully fit. But it's a game against Everton. It's not going to be an easy one. The home fans will certainly get behind us, and hopefully we can bag that win even with a not fully fit team. But we are going with Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Bobby Firmino striker, Salah out on the right wing. Naby Keita linking up with the Ox in the midfield. A little deeper, we've got Henderson in the central defence in midfield, and then Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent at the back with Alisson between the sticks. I will take the captain's armband off Van Dijk. I don't know why he keeps getting it. It should always be on Henderson's arm if Henderson's playing. Regardless, it's a big game up next. We know the new patch has certainly made a difference. I certainly struggled in the last episode. Let's hope that's not the case up next against Everton. Come on, Redmen. This is the time to turn it around now. We're coming up to Christmas. We've got a lot of fixtures ahead. We're certainly going to struggle with fitness, that is without a doubt. They call it the Merseyside derby. It's the Liverpool derby because Liverpool are going to win. We tend to win the majority of the time. I think we win the most of them. We draw now and again. Everton really win it. But still going to be a difficult game because the new patch is out. We certainly struggled in the last episode. I'm just going to play it calm. I'm going to play the ball around nicely, keep possession, and hopefully we'll have a decent lead by half time. Who's potentially going to come for that ball is Yannick Bolasie. Trent's got back nicely to cover. Don't catch him there, son. Uh-oh, keep going. Bolasie going to get a shot off. It's just wide of goal. We nearly caught Yannick Bolasie and give away a penalty there. We cannot be doing that. Here's Moise Kean now coming forward. Nicely done. Let's go now. Play that through to Mo Salah. Now Mo Salah has got the better of Digne here as Digne was found well out of position. Mo Salah, little dinky, looking for Mane, and it's 1-0. There you go. And we've got Mo Salah and Mane back to their scoring ways, hopefully. Beautiful ball in, and Mane's just there to just head that one home. Jordan Pickford come to the near post in case Salah was coming in, but then left the back post nice and open for Sadio Mane to head home. We're 1-0 up against Everton. They're playing well so far. We just got a great break against them. Keep going. It's Henderson. Moise Kean. Going back now to Moise Kean. Van Dijk going to come across and try and get that block off. Gomez was on it. Puts it straight into the path of Andre Gomez. I know we normally play Matip at the back, but Andre Gomez receives the ball from Joe Gomez. And that could have been deadly there. Could have been 1-1. Ball played in behind. Let's go for that one, Trent. And he's going to be beaten there by Digne, unfortunately. Ball now put in. Gomez gets a block on it after Van Dijk gets a block on it. Ball from Andre Gomez into Moise Kean. Later off to Andre Gomez. Great save there from Alisson as he tips that one over. Everton definitely being the better team in this last 10-15 minutes. They're starting to string passes together. Trent going to hold this up and go up the line now looking for Mo Salah. Unfortunately, the referee is now going to blow for half-time. We're 1-0 up against Everton. Not the best result so far. I've got to be happy with how the lads have played. I'm happy that we're getting the win. I'm happy with the result so far. But I don't think 1-0 right now is going to cut it. I am already going to look to make a change. Henderson and the Ox looking a little bit more tired than Naby Keita. The Ox constantly getting up and down the field. So we'll now change him out for James Milner. I think I'm eventually then going to look at bringing Hoover on for probably Trent. We'll then have a look at the situation between Gomez and Van Dijk, whether we need to bring Lovren on or not. I think if we can go 2 or 3-0 up, bringing a defender on for Van Dijk might be the best option, but I need to make sure Trent's rested, so I'll be bringing him off for Hoover. And then, of course, we look at the front three, your Mane, your Bobby and your Salah, and we decide whether Kent needs to come on, Shaqiri needs to come on, or the big man Divock Origi. But for now, just bring a Milner on for the Ox, just so we can keep the Ox nice and fit. He's done a brilliant job in that first 45 minutes. Bringing Milner on will be a little bit more defensive now. Hopefully, we can just start to control the game a little bit more and have a little bit more of the ball as Everton kick us off in this second half period. That's the problem right now. We're just... that's the problem. Here comes Richarlison now. Get me on, Van Dijk. Here comes Richarlison. Still coming forward. Van Dijk going to get in the way. Well done, Van Dijk. Let's go on the counter now, lads. Lay that straight off. Nicely done. Here's Milner coming forwards. Go on, Bobby. Go, son. Go, son. Let's go out wide then and look for Mane. Mane now coming in behind. Beautiful ball from James Milner. In for Mane. And it's a great save from Jordan Pickford. I think with the 70th minute fast approaching, we will look at the fitness throughout the team now and make some decisions. So Trent has got to come off there for Hoover. We don't want to risk him getting too fatigued and potentially picking up an injury. I think the last move is going to have to also be Ryan Kent for Mane. I was looking at potentially either bringing Bobby Firmino off for Divock Origi or Van Dijk for Lovren, but Mane is looking a lot less fit, and we also don't want to risk him getting an injury. So they are going to be the 2 final changes we make against Everton. Ball now going to come in. Let's control this ball. Let's play it out now to Ryan Kent, who potentially, with City being out of position, is potentially going to be gone here as he runs at these defenders. Let's give it into Bobby Firmino. Over now to Mo Salah. Holding this ball up with Mo Salah. Going to play it in behind there for Hoover, who now comes forward. Nice little dinker looking for Bobby Firmino, who's going to get there. It's a great save from Jordan Pickford. I wasn't sure whether he was going to be offside, but a great delivery in there from Hoover and a great header from Bobby Firmino to Yerry Mina. Gabinham now coming forward. Let's go Gomez. Let's put the pressure on here. Nicely done. And the referee's going to blow for full time. It's not the best result we could have asked for. I mean, realistically, it's the result we wanted, which was a win. A 1-0 victory. Not quite the way we wanted to do it. But again, guys, you know, FIFA or EA have just done this new patch to make it a lot more difficult. Teams are going to be playing their better starting 11. They're going to be stronger at the back. They're going to be better going forward. So a 1-0 victory over Everton, I'll take that. You know, we've got to adjust. We've got to get used to the whole new system and the patch that EA have now released. We had 5 shots, 3 on target. Everton having 9 shots, 6 on target. Unfortunately for Silva and his team, he's probably going to go away very disappointed from that, and I understand why. 9 shots, 6 on target. Everton, from paper, were a much better team, but it just showed that with our 3 shots on target, we made sure we converted 1. We put it in the back of the net. And it also shows that our defenders, as well as Alisson, were absolutely spectacular, keeping 6 shots out of the back of the net. Sadio Mane picks up man of the match with an 8.8 rating. Well done, Sadio Mane. We'll now get into the post-match interview and see what the media have to ask. Question time.
Just a moment of your time.
Yep, you can have a moment of my time as long as the questions have been improved from what EA have said. Mane is continuing his hot run of form. How satisfied with your performance today? Very. Yeah, he deserves all the praise. Fantastic player. You were able to secure the victory today before half-time. Are you pleased with all things went in the second half? We should have put the game beyond the doubt. I may have said that if we'd have been better on stats than Everton. Time to focus on, we were the better team. We weren't the better team today. Everton, on paper, were the better team. We controlled the ball nicely, though, so I'll take that. Told you guys I'm going to be honest throughout this. Even though Liverpool won, it was a tough battle. We were worried they would close the gap. Yeah, for a brief moment, I was, especially deep into the second half. They started to play a lot better. And there was moments where I was thinking Everton could easily put a goal past us here and we could end up with another draw. We don't. We managed to come away with the win. Well, up next, we've got West Ham for the simulated game. We have now gone clear by 4 points on Frank Lampard's Chelsea, which I'm very happy with. We're playing well in the Premier League, and I'm hoping that win over Everton is potentially going to push us on to get the win over West Ham. It's a simulated game, so it's in the hands of the EA gods. We know now that teams are a lot more difficult to beat. But my biggest concern is when I'm lining up the team, I'm really starting to see some cracks in positions where we may struggle. You can see that I've currently got Alisson in goal. Unfortunately, Adrian is out with an injury. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that Alisson does not pick up an injury, otherwise we're in serious trouble. I could play Lonergan or Lonergan. Is that how you pronounce it? Lonergan, I think, between the sticks. But overall, 66. West Ham are going to be shooting from the halfway line and putting goals past them. So we just can't afford that. You've got the situation of Gomez isn't fully fit. Mane isn't fully fit. I need to be keeping some of the big names in there to hopefully get us the win over West Ham. So it makes it very difficult. Chirivella coming in for Jordan Henderson in the central defensive midfield role. We really need Fabinho back. I'm also thinking in January about bringing Marko Grujic back, who does play in the central defensive midfield position, because Henderson eventually will want to go back to the midfield, playing in one of the centre mid roles. And then we'd only have Fabinho and Chirivella at CDM. Bringing Grujic back just means that between 67 Chirivella and 88 Fabinho, we've got someone that's around the 79-80 overall rated. So in games like this, he can play over Chirivella, because playing a 67 rated against West Ham is not really what I want to be doing. But the lineup we are going with is Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Divock Origi at striker, Shaqiri out on the right wing, Gino Wijnaldum linking up with Adam Lallana in the central midfield. A little deeper, we've got the Spanish man Pedro Chirivella in the central defensive midfield, and then Max Lovren, Gomez and Klein at the back with Alisson between the sticks. It'd be very good if we could get a win over West Ham here. We are away from home, which always puts it in the home person's hands. Obviously, West Ham have got the better stats right now when it comes to potentially winning, because they're at home. That's the way EA set it up. If you simulate home games, you've got a bigger chance of winning. If you simulate away games, you've got more of a chance of losing and drawing. But hopefully, as we advance and get the players warmed up, we can get the win over West Ham. It's going to jump straight to the scoreline. We do manage to beat them 3-1, and thankfully, we don't pick up any injuries. We have a goal coming from Klein in the 51st minute. We have a goal coming from Adam Lallana in the 68th. And also Gino Wijnaldum, who got on the scoreline. Unfortunately, he must have scored in the first half because we can't see his goal. That's the only disappointing thing about this whole situation, because we don't get it minute by minute, so I can see the breakdown of when we scored. The last thing to happen was 47 minutes. Anything in the first half, I can't see. And I think if that's the case, we even need to make the full-time box a little bit bigger, so we can have from kick-off all the way to the 90th minute, so we can get updates so I can talk through them. Because unfortunately, I can only see Klein and Lallana's goals. We see Bobby Firmino coming on for Divock in the 69th, Van Dijk on for Gomez in the 64th. But apart from that, we get the win. We beat them 3-1. Very, very happy with the result. It's a difficult game, going to London and facing off against West Ham. We get the result. It's what we needed. Now we can focus on the Leicester game. Well, I feel like this episode has first of all had a lot more passion, a lot more energy. It's been a lot more fun. So far, we beat Everton 1-0. We've then just beat West Ham 3-1 for the simulated game. We now get a little bit of good news before the game against Brendan Rodgers and his team Leicester City. The senior physiotherapist has emailed to say the medical staff have cleared Fabinho to his return from his injury. He can rejoin the first team squad's training sessions. I have checked. He's not 100% fit. He's probably around 75-80%. But that's good, because if we're beating Leicester 2 or 3-0 by the 60-70th minute, I'll bring him on, help towards his fitness. We don't want to play him for a full 90 minutes, because we could just make that injury or that niggle worse, or put him back another 2 or 3 months for injury time. So realistically, we just want to slowly bring him back into the team. But he's a great player to have back in the team. He's an important player. Hopefully that means with him being back, it's probably only 4 or 5 weeks till Bruno Fernandes is back to be absolutely romping it in our midfield. But up next, we do have Leicester. We are now currently 6 points clear on Frank Lampard's team. Correction, Spurs have now moved into second place. Wow. Pochettino is in second place, not Frank Lampard anymore. Frank Lampard and Chelsea are a point behind. Spurs, Arsenal are a point behind. In fact, Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea all currently joint third. Spurs currently second, and all 6 points clear in first. Hopefully, we can continue our winning ways up next against Leicester. I'm excited for this game. I feel like I learnt a lot in the Everton game. I think realistically, in fact, we'll go in our black kit. They can go in their blue and white. I feel like you certainly need to control the ball. Again, Van Dijk's got the captain's armband. Why do you keep doing this to me, EA? Give it to Henderson. Yeah, I feel like I certainly got a better feel when we played Everton. We defended well. There was opportunities where I was sliding in with Gomez and Van Dijk and getting the blocks. I was timing the tackles nicely. and that's something that we do need to get used to again. But as we travel to the King Power Stadium, this is the lineup we're taking. We've got Mane out on that left wing, Bobby Firmino at striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gini Wijnaldum linking up with Naby Keita in the central midfield. A little deeper, we've got Jordan Henderson in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip and Trent at the back with Alisson between the sticks. We're back to our usual starting 11, apart from Fabinho being at CDM and then Henderson moving into Naby Keita's position. That is the starting 11 that I want to be playing week in and week out. The only players in Van Dijk and Alisson that aren't fully fit, but I'm positive we should get a result against Leicester City. We should be bringing the 3 points back to Liverpool, and hopefully there'll be plenty of goals and highlights for you guys at home. Come on, lads, let's finish on a high. It's a wet day at the King Power Stadium. Ward-Prowse moved from Southampton to Leicester City. Only apologies there, Lee. But as Leicester do get us kicked off in this first half period, let's get it underway. And hopefully we can make it a decent game. Gonna hold this ball up with Moko into the middle now for Naby Keita. Naby Keita coming forward. A ball roll onto that right foot. Naby Keita going to let fly. It's a big save there. The referee's going to pull us back for the free kick. I didn't even spot the free kick if I'm completely honest, but we've got a decent opportunity here to score with Mo Salah. Doesn't look like we're going to get a replay either. First time taking a free kick in the Liverpool Creamer. It's going to be a difficult one, that's for sure. So, we'll go about that height. About there. A little bit of that there. A little bit of curl. Mo Salah. Oh! Great save from Danny Ward, the ex-Liverpool man. But that was a decent shot from Mo Salah. Mane going to roll the ball. Play it in now. Mane still going. Still Mane. Nice little dink in from Mane. Into the middle for Bobby Firmino, who's put it over. Bobby Firmino is struggling, you know. He's struggling a little bit with scoring. Well done, Robbo. Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. Ball through. It's 1-0 Leicester. Slimani, terrible mistake there from myself. Trying to play it from Andy Robbo to Van Dijk was a big, big mistake. Slimani punishes us. And the King Power Stadium is bouncing. Alisson shakes his head, but it was all on me. Look, this pass here. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible. And it's an easy goal for Brendan Rodgers and co. They are now 1-0 up. We're going to have to buck up our ideas here, lads. Nicely done there, Naby. Keep going. Trying to play it through there. Nicely done, Mo Salah into Bobby. Back through now to Mo Salah, who's trying to get forward. Mo Salah going to cut this back onto his left foot. Mo Salah! 1-1, there we go. Mo Salah on his stronger left foot manages to finally beat Danny Ward. I don't know where I'm running off to there, but we'll now celebrate with the signature Mo Salah. We love it. Our Egyptian king down the wing. He does the Leicester defender there as he cuts back, takes a touch. And Mo Salah bends that one into the top left corner, beating Danny Ward between the sticks. We're back on level terms. Ball into the middle for Adrian Silva. Played over that far side to Harvey. And luckily enough for us, we are now getting at half time back on level terms. If we were going in 1-0 down, we'd have a serious problem because our striker right now, Bobby Firmino, does not look like he's going to score. I am going to leave him on for the simple reason of fitness. I want to keep Bobby Firmino running up and down the pitch. He doesn't look like he's going to score. It's going to have to come from probably Gini, Mane or Salah who's going to score. We need Bobby to do as much running as we can, and then we'll bring him off for Divock Origi, who can hopefully make the difference. But as Bobby Firmino kicks us off in the second half, let's get it underway. Gonna miss that ball, unfortunately, from Robertson. Let's try and play that ball out now. The ball's eventually going to come through. This is unbelievable. Great tackle there. Ref, no! It's a red for Trent.
The referee has pointed to the spot while showing a red card as well. Well, he delicately poised this game. Has this incident tipped the balance?
Well, someone left the comment. Can't remember who it was, but it was Brad. You should be good at the instant replay. You've got to learn how to do it. So I'm going to give it my best shot, okay? I'm going to give it my best shot so we can see a replay on that. So what I want to do first is we want to target Trent. That's who we want to be targeting, really. So let me get on Trent. There's Trent. Right. For some reason, I can't zoom in. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. Now we can zoom in. Okay, so as Trent comes across, we'll hide this now. Ball comes in from Harvey Barnes. He takes a touch. See, is this better for you guys now? He's going to slide in. Does he not get that ball? Does he catch the player and not the ball? I thought he got his toe to it there. Oh. Oh. Hello there, Trent. Oh, he's gritting his teeth thinking if I don't touch this ball. I think he might get that ball, you know. I think there's the connection there. It is. He connects with the ball before the player. There's the touch there. He slows the ball right down. You can see the ball spinning, and then it suddenly takes a little bit of a dip as it hits his foot. Look. Bang, right there. Yeah, I mean, it's not showing it touches it, but you can see his ankle roll around the ball. He certainly gets the ball. Now, my next question is, does he really catch the player that much? He catches the ball, then he plays the ball, then I've caught the player and he falls. Has he gone down for it? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Does he get the ball here? Does Trent get around and hit the ball? Because for me, his foot hits that ball. You can see that if you look at the top of his foot, as it's coming in, it changes direction because it connects with the ball. Look, it's straight, and then it bends. And you wouldn't bend your foot like that. It just wouldn't bend like that. I think that shouldn't be a penalty. But we're down to 10 men regardless, and we now potentially have to save this shot from Ward-Prowse. And we haven't. 2-1. Bobby still holding the ball up, going in and out to Henderson, going to lose it to Ward-Prowse. And look at this, ball straight through. Pavon through on goal, going to have to bring Alisson. Oh, it's just a goal. We got lucky. Can't believe this. Cannot believe this here. Let's keep going here, Mo. There's Justin playing it back now to Ward-Prowse. Into Pavon. Chowdhury, we've lost.
And the referee's whistle, that is the end of the story.
A penalty that maybe shouldn't have been a penalty wins Leicester the game. A defeat like that is really going to knock the players. The morale is going to be knocked.
No more so when he grabbed that goal. He never disappoints me when I watch him. He's just too good, simple.
A silly pass there from me gifts Leicester their first goal. And a tackle that I personally think was a fair tackle, in my opinion, gives them the second. Realistically, we were bar average. We had 5 shots, 4 on target. Sorry, Leicester had 5 shots, 4 on target. We had 9 shots, 6 on target. We pretty much do that anyway. We have 5 or 6 shots on goal. We're just not scoring enough right now. From 6 shots, I expect more than 1 in the back of the net. Mo Salah picks up man of the match with an 8.1 rating. If I'm not above an 8.6 with our man of the match player, we've played poorly. Let's see what the media want to ask in the post-match interview. But sadly, another defeat, this time to Leicester City.
All right, just a couple of questions for you.
Yeah, really not in the mood for questions, but go on. Grabby, Alexander-Arnold, Trent was suspended after today's match. How will this impact your squad selection? Mistakes happen. I'm not going to hold it against him because I think he got the ball, and from the replay, where's VAR when you need it? It seems the second match against Leicester City didn't go as planned. What went wrong? Yeah, the pressure was high. I mean, when we give away the first goal, I think it knocked the confidence of the lads. It was a struggling one. What are your thoughts on the loss? We were just unlucky. Give away a silly goal, which is my fault. Robertson playing the ball to their player, not good enough. And the penalty, obviously you guys will let me know down below, but
that's all the questions.
I personally don't think it should have been a penalty. So we certainly upped our game from the last episode. I mean, the last episode was really a disappointing result. We really struggled in the last episode. I feel like we played a little bit better in today's episode. The 2 Leicester goals, yes, we lost, but could it have been helped? Not really. If we actually think about it, a penalty that we think wasn't a penalty, a silly pass. On the day, mistakes were made and it cost us, unfortunately, the game. We are still ending today's episode top of the Premier League. Currently 4 points clear of second position, Arsenal, and third position, or joint second position, should I say, Manchester United and Arsenal. Spurs are still yet to play their 19th game. They could potentially come up to 39 points, putting us only 3 points clear. Man City have now broken in to the top 6, so it is your usual top 6 team. So considering EA said they changed it up of how realistic it was going to be, there's your top 6. Liverpool, Arsenal, United, Spurs, Chelsea, and Manchester City. Gomez loving his football is the news article there. We have had a message from Joe Gomez. We'll quickly jump over to the office and see what's going on. So Trent has picked up a 1-match ban. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to play him in the Wolves game. And the 2 texts we've had from Dejan Lovren, the recent chances you've given me means a lot. I hope we can repay your faith. Yeah, don't let it go to your head. Keep playing well. I just want to say thank you for the amount of playing time I'm getting. I'm really happy with that. Yeah, I'm proud of Joe Gomez. He's playing well, and he had to come in for Trent. Doesn't usually play at right back, more of a centre back, but he played well. Let's advance this one day to the Wolves game. Unfortunately, we are literally getting stuck with Leicester, day's break, and then Wolves. So if you look at the starting lineup, well, we're going to need to revamp the whole entire team. But before we end today's episode, we will look at the games that are coming up in the next episode, and we will be opening the January transfer window. So to finish off the month of Christmas, December 2019, we face off against Wolves on the 28th. We then advance all the way into January. The transfer window opens and we face off against Sheffield United at home, and then Manchester City in the round of 64 FA Cup. Round of 64, that is a lot. That is a lot. I think that's the 5th round. I'm pretty sure we get in the FA Cup around the 5th round. So for me, we'll play Wolves. We'll simulate the game against Sheffield United because I think that's the easier game. And then, of course, we'll play Manchester City in the round of 64 in the FA Cup. And then we've got Leicester in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. We just lost to Leicester. Hopefully we can seek a little bit of revenge. But that episode is going to be really difficult because we've got Leicester in the Carabao Cup semi-finals, Spurs away from home in the Premier League, and then Manchester United at home in the Premier League. We're going to have to simulate one of those games. It's going to be difficult to choose, so I'll certainly have to have a little think of it. But also in the next episode, we will be opening the January transfer window, in which I will be leaving a straw poll down below. Not in this episode, in the next one. I'll discuss it in the next episode, but it's about bringing potential players back that are currently on loan back to Liverpool to help us out with the rest of the season. I also want to let you guys know that down below in the description right now is a link to my Game Heroes Macmillan page. Obviously, you guys know that I'm going to be doing a 24-hour live stream. If you haven't watched the 24-hour live stream video, please do go and give it a watch. There's also a link. I'm going to be leaving it in the description of every video between now and, of course, the 24-hour live stream. I am yet to receive a donation, but if any of you guys could donate, that would be absolutely massive. Maybe some of you are waiting until the 24-hour live stream to donate. It doesn't matter whether you donate now, tomorrow, next week, or when we actually do the live stream. Every donation is going towards Macmillan Cancer Support. I'm still going to be streaming, whether you donate now or donate later on. I'm still going to be doing the 24-hour live stream. So if you'd like to make a donation, the link is down below in the description and will be on all the videos until we actually do the 24-hour live stream. We're aiming to raise £5,000. If we do raise the £5,000, I'll be shaving my hair or shaving my head bald, and all my hair will be gone, but it'd be lovely. I'm still waiting to get my first donation. Hopefully one of you guys could be that first donating person. But that is going to do it for today's episode, guys. And if you have enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And I've been Massive Brad. Peace out.